Show note: I planned to record an episode about how to stock your kitchen so you are well prepared to begin your money-saving meal preparation journey, but that will have to wait until next time because I have plants on my mind. Sometimes I just have to go with what's happening at the moment. I normally eat mostly plant-based meals, but I'm not 100% plant-based. I would say that one or two meals each week include fish. Sometimes I eat eggs, and I certainly get incidental dairy when I consume bread that comes in the form of whey, a common ingredient bread makers use. Sometimes I crave cheese, so I'll have cheese. But most of the time I just eat plants. My approach to eating a plant-based diet is that I never try to eat substitutes for meat or dairy. The reason I don't look for vegan cheese or vegan meat is that I had a bad experience. When I was working in San Francisco, I would walk to this fantastic hole-in-the-wall vegan restaurant. They had an incredible dal that they served with freshly baked bread. It was really tasty. I also enjoyed many of the soups, salads, pasta dishes that they served. But one day I felt like a sandwich. So I bought a vegan club with imitation turkey and ham. It upset my stomach, so I never tried fake meat again. In addition to the stomach upset, I found the texture off-putting. By not pretending that the spread on my sandwich is mayonnaise, that the filling is cheese or meat, but by identifying the spread as a dressing and the cheese as a kind of hummus, by avoiding meat substitutes, I'm no longer trying to compare what I'm tasting to the original. I appreciate what I'm eating for what it is. It takes time to become accustomed to eating plant-based, but if you can transition, you can save up to $750 per person in your home per year. For a family of 4, that's $3,000 annually. What can you do with an extra $3,000? If it were me and I had debt, I would use money to pay that debt down. Debt-free living has been without question the most important step I've taken to gain control over my finances. Coupled with savings from preparing meals at home versus takeout, and you're looking at substantial savings. In addition to cost savings, plant-based foods are nice to transport to work because often you don't have to worry too much about refrigeration. Now, I'm not a food safety scientist, so take this recommendation knowing that you're getting my opinion and not science. But I never feel worried about storing my plant-based meals at room temperature. And that's not to say that I'll never get a food-borne illness. You may as well if you follow my lead, but you'll have to evaluate your risk. I'm referring to food at room temperature for a couple of hours, not several days. Imagine a picnic and visualize how long your picnic food would be out of a cooler. Examples of room temperature food that I don't worry about are a salad with a vinaigrette dressing, vegetable sandwiches, any fruit cut or whole, vegetable soup, pickles, nuts and nut butters, smoothies made with protein powder and vegetables and fruit, but no dairy, cut vegetables like celery, carrots, cucumbers, bell peppers, jicama. I love radishes, tomatoes, green beans, and snow peas, all of which can be coupled with a delicious vinaigrette style dressing or hummus to make a satisfying snack or meal. If you don't feel you can commit to plant-based eating, consider adding more vegetables to each meal. Many cultures use meat as a condiment. Imagine your plate generously piled with at least 50% vegetables. 25% of your plate has a starch, for example, rice, pasta, beans, or potatoes, and 25% of your plate with meat, egg, or dairy. That is a lot different than the standard American diet, also known as SAD or SAD. Over time, you will become more accustomed to eating less meat, eggs, or dairy. I've been reading a lot lately about the benefits of a high-fiber diet, which is easy to achieve if you're eating a plant-based diet. Rural Africans get about 43 grams of fiber daily versus Americans who on average get about 15 grams of fiber daily. Fiber is important for microbiome diversity, and populations with high fiber intake have lower incidence of colon cancer. As well, high fiber intake is associated with lower incidence of common killers of Americans like heart disease, diabetes, and more. Fiber is affordable, especially if you're getting your fiber from one of my favorite foods, beans. And fiber is filling. There are the blue zone people who live really long lives, and more importantly, they die well. They don't tend to spend years fending off death via prescription medications and medical interventions. They eat mostly vegetables, they get regular exercise, and I'm not talking hardcore gym time, but walking, dancing, or doing chores. They have abundant social lives. When they die, they go to bed one night and they simply do not get up the next day when they're really old. That's how I hope I go. If you're interested in learning more about the benefits of plant-based eating, I recommend you check out the website nutritionfacts.org. They have some great podcasts and articles, and they have a fantastic YouTube channel. There's an article that I'll link in the show notes on NPR Goats and Soda, and they did a study, what if Americans ate like South Africans, and vice versa. It's short and really interesting. I have a free downloadable book called Few Buck Lunch. You can get it from my website, page-power.com. Next time on Page Power, I'll talk about how to stock your kitchen so you're well prepared for your meal preparation journey.